Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. After Trump's victory, click in the Middle East, basically he did what he was told to do by those guys. Now he's focusing all his energy towards Ukraine and Russia. And he ordered his Jewish special envoy, Mr. Steve Witkoff, who is the Middle East envoy, to go and take care of Europe as well, because they are better than us. So Mr. Witkoff was ordered to get Russia done. Well, that's a little point that's missing over there. Putin does not have Witkoffs around him. So the Witkoffs do not really have influence as they have everywhere else in Western Europe and in the Middle East. So Mr. Witkoff comes to speak with Putin differently. Yes, it's true, Witkoff is going to use you and the United States of America to threaten Putin in the name of your children, but that's a different story. So we're going to discuss that as the first topic. The second topic, mountain slope model, popping the cherry. Start slowly, the decision has been made already. They say now, well, the US can send about 20 to 50 Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. They're not talking, hey, that should not be sent. No, they are beyond that. They're not talking about yes or no. They're talking how many. You see, they are going in the same direction. They use this all the time. This is the second topic. Third one, Russia attacks United Nations humanitarian mission in Kherson Oblast. One lorry burned out. That's bad. Now, I will put Russia's answer in the mouth of Israel Defense Forces and see if you would agree with that. All right, the third one. Now the fourth one, the Russians attacked again Ukraine with only 96 UAVs and these guys 69 drones destroyed. Next topic. Russian forces liberate, conquer, take over, control two more settlements, one in Dnipropetrovsk and the other one in Donetsk Oblast. I will show you the maps and the localities. Then Zelenskyy goes to Washington, D.C. to smack Trump around and to announce together the Tomahawk missile deployment. I guarantee you that 99%. So Zelenskyy is going to show up like, what's his name? Oh, Netanyahu. There is no other world leader who is frequenting, coming to, let's say, frequenting, I can't fucking find a word, coming to the White House more often than these two coincidentally Jewish guys, Zelenskyy and Netanyahu. And I almost guarantee you he goes over there, Zelenskyy, to tell Trump, now we're going to announce together with me the Tomahawk missile deployment. And the Russians will say, no problem, we're going to strike the United States. And Zelenskyy, yes, finally we got it. Not Zelenskyy, the guys behind him. So let's start with the first topic. Trump urges his envoy to get Russia done. His envoy is this Witkoff right here. But Witkoff, his special envoy to the Middle East. But because he's so good, he's gonna bypass our foreign minister, Mr. Marco Rubio, and get their Secretary of State, Mr. Steve Witkoff. I said many times before, Marco Rubio is over there just a, water boy. Mr. Witkoff is in charge because the forces behind Witkoff and Rubio are pushing Witkoff as being the real guy. The other guy is just, you're over there, we took you out of the Senate, we liberated that position in the Senate for you, Rubio. Someone else is over there, no problem, we're gonna pretend it's you, but it's not Rubio, it is Witkoff. And the Witkoff is the guy who solves all the problems. He's gonna go to speak with Putin. And you know what's strange? Not strange, I point that out to you. Trump puts pressure only on Putin. He doesn't dare to put any pressure on Zelenskyy. Why is that? Wouldn't it be easier to tell Zelenskyy beat it, which Zelenskyy is a nobody, right, in a nobody country, versus the mighty Russian Empire with 700, 300 warheads, nuclear warheads, with this big, vast energy that they have, resources, and so on. No, He's going to threaten the nuclear-armed Russia, but not Zelensky. So he always is pushing pressure and putting pressure on Putin, not on the guy that supposedly he can control. Why I say supposedly? Because I think it's the other way around. So Vitkov is going to go and talk to Putin, and he's going to send Trump's message, but he's not going to talk to Zelensky. Why? Zelensky can do whatever he wants. His shit doesn't stink. But anyway, get Russia done now. He's not telling them what to do. They tell him what to do. Nevertheless, maybe Vitkov has, I don't know, a magic burning bush or something, and he's going to go and circumcise whomever needs to be circumcised over there. Oh, Zelensky probably is already. All right, he's Jewish, so that's the covenant. That's what God, one God, came and told Abraham, or one person, hey, we're going to, instead of coming with something philosophical, you go and take care of your child. Okay, that was the... All right, next, let's go to the mountain slope model. United States can supply only 20 to 50 Tomahawk missiles, and then they're going to supply 100, and then 1,000, and then 5 trillion. Now, they're not talking about if, Financial Times. They say how many. All right, just pay attention to this. Whenever a decision is about to be made, they start slowly. And I explained this on numerous occasions, how it works. Remember the example of tanks in Ukraine. Remember the example of F-16s in Ukraine, Patriot systems, HIMARS, howitzers, all these things, armored vehicles, all these things started like, no, that's no. The president said, no, we will not send those, no. And then they send them. And how did they do it? Slowly. Then you got a retired baboon general coming and saying, I think, why retired? He has no authority. That's why. I think, it's just an opinion. I think that would benefit, I think the president should send, the United States of America should send this and that. And then the media picks it up and say, oh, maybe we have a panel, or maybe, could be, but no. And then White House says, no, there's no plans to do that yet. And then they escalate, they climb all until the White House eventually is going to come and say, yes, he's considering. And then, yes, he's going to do it. Each and every time. Right? Two things are missing right now. Troops on the ground, legally. And the other one is nuclear weapons. That's it. These are two that are missing. But Tomahawks can carry nuclear warheads. So we're almost there. No Tomahawks, no. All right, who benefits? The guys who think they will control this war and will reconstruct after the conventional war they think ends. And who's going to reconstruct? The banking system. Who's going to print, type, click, how many billions you want. All right, remember that one. Next one. Next topic we have to do with the humanitarian attack. Russia attacks United Nations humanitarian mission in Kherson Oblast. One lorry burnt out, according to the Ukrainians. Now, I don't know if this was struck by an American missile or American drone or a Russian drone or a Ukrainian drone. It's just what the Ukrainians are saying. So Russian troops attacks a humanitarian mission of the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. All right, do you remember when Israel struck many of those what they said? I tell you, there's two reasons. The first one, there were terrorists in that. There were terrorists, Hamas, and we had to destroy it. Okay, and everybody was like, oh, okay, all right, if Israel says no, why the Russians can't say the same thing? Why is it not acceptable? Is it because the Russians lie and the other ones don't? Or because the other ones, when they say something, everybody's afraid to criticize because you're going to be called an I don't know, huh? Is it that? And that's the first reason. The second one is this. IDF, Israel Defense Forces. We didn't do it. It might have been an accident. We're going to investigate. Bye-bye. Close the door. Off. That's what they do. So would it be acceptable if the Russians come and say, no, that was used for military use. It was not the United Nations. Even if it was a big sign over there, it was just Ukrainians trying to infiltrate our dear country, Mother Russia. Huh? And the other one, no, I think it was an accident. Please forgive us. Forgive. And why those guys are trustworthy, but the Russians are not? because whomever writes matters. Okay, so if I am a jackal in the media and I know on which side my bread is buttered, I know what to say. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Mild attack. Russia attacks Ukraine with 98 UAVs, 69 drones destroyed. Good for you. And they say, okay, 27 have reached their targets. And they were launched again from Bryansk, Oryol, Kursk, Primorsko-Akhtarsk, Milerovo, and from temporarily occupied Crimea. So these are located, so they launched this attack from these areas. Bryansk, Oryol, Kursk, this is north of Ukraine, northeast right now. Then you got to Milerovo right here where my strong hand is, right there, Milerovo. Then you go to Primorsko-Akhtarsk across from the Sea of Azov, which is exactly here. And then you got to the Crimean Peninsula, obviously, ici Radio Vacances. Okay, next one. Russian forces occupy Ternove in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. So they occupy, the Russians say they liberate. Now, Dnipropetrovsk is obviously a new oblast. They show us a little new oblast compared with the, Donetsk or Zaporozhye or Luhansk or Kherson. So this is the intersection of three oblasts right there. So they advance this way. This is the intersection between Dnipropetrovsk right here, from Donetsk right here, and Zaporozhye right here. I will show you on the map where that is located. It's located exactly here. Klip, Klop, Zaporov, Bukamok, and Fokolok right here. This is where is the intersection between the three oblasts. So this picture here, okay, is right here. Ternove, and they go to Ternove right here. We're gonna go right here, and it's somewhere here. I don't see it because these guys don't show it. Next one, but it's right here in the Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, in the city of the Dnipropetrovsk. This is Zaporozhye. So the Ukrainians are losing here, obviously, and we're going to move to this area where the Russians claim they liberated something in this area in Krasnoarmeysk, that is Pokrovsk. Sputnik. Russian forces liberate Balagan settlement in Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk People's Republic. So Balagan, we identify is right here by Pokrovsk. Balagan, Balahan in Ukrainian. Big, as you see, big settlement with 5 houses, 20 chicken, 5 cows, 1 horse, and a lot of rats. All right, rats. Why? Because if you lived in or if you've been to countryside in Romania, Ukraine, and so on, and the farms or peasants, there are a lot of rats, mice, because they have cattle, they have food all over the place. That's why I said it. Don't think I said it because I equate certain people with that. All right, Vitkov was not there. So here it is. This is Pokrovsk right here. So that is exactly here in this area. Again, this guy doesn't zoom, but this is Krasnoarmeysk. This is the area where the Russians are advancing. Again, Pokrovsk, and the other one was right here. Remember, Pak, Tsak, Makalak. Next one. Zelenskyy confirms he will meet with Trump on 17th of October. All right, good for you, my boy. What are you going to talk? Trump confirms plan to meet Zelenskyy on Friday. And then Zelenskyy to meet Trump at the White House. If you know body language, you know what that means with those hands over there. Nah, they don't hold their cocks. It's just because they're closed. Look at their faces. Well, they don't even look at one another. This is like, oh my God, too much coke through that big nose. Oh my God, what am I going to do with this guy? I have to kiss his ass, and I don't really like because he didn't wash it, at least. All right, so they're going to discuss what exactly? Zelenskyy. Trump talks to center or Tomahawks missiles. I tell you what to do. How do you call it? Tell you right there, googly eye. Look at this guy. You want some money? You want? I can change some money for you. Yeah, you want? Okay, see me in the bazaar tomorrow. No, I'm not coming. Yes, they tell you need to come. Yes, I'm gonna come. Yes, I'm gonna come. So, prepare Friday mass media is going to tell you this guy's going to show up in a press conference and Trump is going to say, according to the new information provided by President Zelenskyy here on my right, we decided that it's necessary to push this Ukraine war to an end and stop Russian aggression. We will provide weapons, Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine. Ura! And the Russian says, okay, guys, get ready, alarm, we're going to have a nuclear war. And the Americans will say, yes, but Zelenskyy is going to assure you, he already assured you, Putin will not use nuclear weapons. Nah. What if he uses? Here, prevention doesn't play any role. You know, in your life, all the time, prevention. Free speech prevention. If you go at the airport and you want to travel, they will prevent by what? By checking your ass and your electronics. Prevention. But here, no. No, I'm certain, man, that Putin is not going to use nuclear weapons. But I'm not certain that Gigi boarding that plane will not do something with his iPhone. You got it? You understand what's going on here? Which is more important, that plane or that guy unleashing nuclear war? I guess a guy boarding a plane with his iPhone unchecked. The officers, the border patrol officers, could not open it. And they will open it. They open it because they want to make sure that you are safe and everybody's safe with you having your phone or your iPad or your laptop with you in the plane. But here, Zelenskyy told you he's going to exchange some money for you. Take it to the bank. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.